Hi guys, so welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about selecting and masking, as we said in the other video. So if you haven't watched that beginner basics, please go and watch it. I'll link it on this video. So we're just going to go ahead and open Photoshop. Once Photoshop is opened, just go ahead, click on file, then open, and it takes you to your folders. Then you can select an image you want to select and mask. So I had downloaded this one, so I'm just going to click open. Then we're just going to go ahead and wait for my baby to open up while yours is opening. Okay, so this is our image right here. So I'm going to go on the left bottom, try to change the percentage so that I can have the image zoomed into what I actually want it to be. So we want to do selecting and masking. So selecting and masking is when you can cut out a specific subject from an image. So let's say cutting this man who is the subject of this image. So this image is our background. We can just click once on the padlock and it becomes a layer. Then we just undo that and duplicate it so that we don't distort the image. So Ctrl J and just rename it to, I'll write model. So what I want to do is do selection and masking. With what we did last time, we learned about quick selection. So I'm just going to do quick selection. But I find that this is usually like a lot for me to do, so I'm not that lazy, but still. So what I just do, let me just click Ctrl D to deselect. I go at the top bar where there is select subject and I click select subject. What this does is it allows Photoshop to select the actual subject in this image, see? So you can just go and add or remove where you feel it is necessary. Then click select and mask right next to select subject. Okay, so when we go to the properties in view mode, you can see you can do if it is in black, in white, black and white. Remember, whatever is in black is hidden, whatever is in white is shown. So I'm just going to reduce the opacity, try to play with it, make sure that your high quality preview is on, and go to the edge selection, play with the radius, see what it does to the image. It is hands, don't worry about the hair. If we go to click on show edge and do the same to radius, see the difference that it makes. Now this affects only the edges. Okay, so make sure show edges off. So let's go to global refinement. So if we click on smooth and increase it, look at the change at the bottom. Let me just, now it refines the edges by smoothening it, so it's not as straight as it seems. If we feather, it blurs the image. Okay, if we do contrast, see what that does. We reduce it, shift edge pushes the edge inwards and outwards. It pushes outwards if you increase and down inwards if you reduce. So let me just refine my image depending on what I want it to be. So this is different in the image you use and the image I'm using, so it is your choice. Just reduce this or increase depending on what you want. Push it inwards or outwards. Remember, if it is low, it pushes inwards. If it is high, it pushes outwards. Okay, if you further, you blur it. If you smoothen, you refine the edges. So now if you go to output settings, make sure the contaminate colors is off, because if it is on, you see you'll have to create a new layer with a layer mask. If it is off, you can create a layer mask on the layer you are using. If it is on, you have to create a new layer with a new layer mask, and the layer mask is off. So just make sure it is off. Go to layer mask and click OK. So a layer mask is created on the layer that you're working on. Now that you've already created a layer mask for the model, what we're going to do is we're going to create a layer mask for the hair. And this is easier if you break the hair and the body into two subjects. So I'm just going to go to lasso tool. We're going to draw on the hair. So we're going to select this outer area of his hair. So just make sure that you've selected the layer mask that you had created, and just select the outer edges of his hair. So we're just going to do that, and it's okay if you select his face, it's fine. Go to foreground color and change to black. This hides the hair from the already selected and masked layer you did before. Then click Alt and Backspace, or Option and Backspace, and duplicate the first layer and rename this layer Hair. Then Ctrl D to deselect. Remember, this hides the hair, black hides and white reveals. So the hair you had selected is hidden from the masked layer. So click on the mask, then delete layer mask. Okay, now that we have this layer, we're going to go back to select and mask. Then just try to do the same on this one. So make sure that you are on, maybe let's say the white view mode. Reduce the opacity so that when you make a selection, it shows you exactly what you're seeing. I have used black, but let's just use white. So come and do a quick selection of the hair. Now see, if you have white on, when you select the hair, it just selects the hair and you can see it from the image in the background. You can just also reduce that if you want to deselect from where you had selected. Then I'm just going to reduce the size so that they can get into the tip. And it's okay if you go overboard, just undo it. You can see that you have already selected the hair that you want to work on as the subject. So the body is not selected and the hair is selected. So we're working on the layer mask for the hair. Then we're going to go to the edge selection and increase radius. Now remember what I told you, it refines the edges. So make sure your show edge is off. Then go to, let me just reduce the opacity and increase my radius without the show edge being on. So make sure show edge is off, then increase the radius. Now if I go to refine edge brush on the left side scroll bar and use it, I'm just going to be refining, like getting the background at the back of his hair out of the image. So I'm just going to use this brush to refine, like, let's say hide those pixels at the back of his hair. So the selection that I'm making is specifically on his hair. If you need to add or to reduce the size, or if you need to remove parts that you had refined for too much, you can go ahead at the top. Then you can just select. So see, I've already selected his hair. Look at the edges, you can see his actual hair. So if you go to global refinement and smoothen his hair, if I increase that, it kind of reduces the intensity of his hair at the edge. So I'm just going to leave that at 0. If I feather it, it blurs the edges, so it's not as accurate, like one strand. So shift edge, it's the same thing. So if you go to decontaminate, make sure you have selected create layer mask. If you click OK, it creates a layer mask for your hair. So now you have a layer mask for the model, you have for the hair. If you allow the layer visibility, which is the eye icon on the layers, you can see that you have selected and masked for the model and for the hair. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.